welcome to this D&D Oxventure. I am CDB, aka Corazon de Baena, the human pirate rogue.
I am Egbert, the Dragonborn Paladin. That's my new thing.
I'm Dob, the half-orc bard. Spell slots? No. Spells? ? Lots! !
I'm Prudence, the Tiefling Warlock, and Egbert already took the finger guns, so now I don't know what to do with my hands. Apart from Eldritch Blast. Yeah.
And I am Merylwen, the Wood Elf Druid, and I sometimes turn into animals. Meow.
Ah, yes. The international sign of little cats.
Is that the bear?
Meow, meow. No, a bear is...
Oh, gosh.
Fair enough.
Druidcraft, hey.
Did you just say bear enough, Egbert?
No, I didn't, but you can imagine I did if you like.
Well, that's a sign of the times. I'm literally everyone else in the world.
Yay!
And goodness me, haven't you all found yourselves in something of a pickle, or more of a dungeon, really, if we're to be factually accurate. Prudence has just quaffed a goblet full of a mysterious, powerful juice from a font. It expanded her magic powers, you know, well done. On this instance, the magic mystical mystery liquid did not harm you.
Which spell will you be choosing, Prudence?
What a great question. My new spell is Banish. With it I can banish anyone I like, anything I want, to
Let's
another
not cross
plane
Prudence.
of existence.
Prudence, you've always liked me, right?
Prudence, if you banish me, you have to send Egbert with me for company.
Yes.
You'll come
Banish
back
us
though,
both.
after a bit. If
After
you're
a
banished
minute,
to
yeah.
after a
Oh,
minute.
that's not too bad.
Stop baiting Tumblr, you two.
Can you banish me now? Just so I can see what it's like.
That makes it sound like a kind of like 7 minutes in heaven sort of situation.
It's a timeout situation, yeah. Go and make out in another dimension for
7
60
minutes
seconds.
in banishment.
In Prudence's make-out dimension.
Oh wow.
Banished to the make-out dimension.
But as you'll remember, after Prudence had a drink of the old magic sort of Gatorade, she then froze as the orb that was acquired from the treasury, the mystical sort of floating museum island, home of one Victor Dietrich, just sort of casually
Never heard of
went for a wander, got into the font, and just drank in all of the power to itself, and then basically a bunch of tiny little squares popped up on its surface, revealing that it is some kind of ominous puzzle box. That is where we left it, and that is where we cut straight back in.
Prudence, are you okay? You seem frozen. Prudence,
I'm still frozen.
Can you talk?
You are unfrozen.
Oh.
In fact,
Waggle your eyebrows if you can talk.
Oh, smooth. Oh, how's it going? So what's the haps?
Okay,
I feel
well,
more magical.
Yeah.
We all woke up.
So funny story, an orb came out of your
Oh.
backpack. Have you had an orb this whole time?
Yeah.
Why didn't you mention what is the orb?
I threw it at one of our many enemies one time. Don't you remember the demonic Pokeball?
I remember.
Oh yeah,
The
Demonic Pokeball.
Yeah. The one
the
I
same
stole
thing.
from the treasury.
It's hard to
where
forget. It's
Victor
pretty traumatic.
Dietrich had that party.
Right. Okay.
And I
didn't
just
realise
thought it
you
was
were
a-
also stealing things from that museum. That's cool.
Yeah. I just thought it was a bloody magical, bowling ball artifact, and I hadn't ever quite figured out what it was for, what it did. And now look at it, it's all puzzly.
Is it
Can
bad?
Can I sneak up, just sneak up on the orb like this?
Don't put your mouth on it, Dob.
I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to lick it. Why do you always assume Dob's going to lick it?
Experience.
That's fair. I'm
Yeah.
just going to go up to it, and I just want to have a look, and I just want to see if I can read any symbols on it or discern any kind of language.
okay,
Or
I'm
you
gonna.
lick it.
That's gonna be. I'm gonna let you do this, but you need to make me a dexterity saving throw first, please, because
Okay.
around your feet, Seal Gaiman is going ballistic.
Oh,
You
dear.
know, like how they bounce down to the beach.
Yeah.
He is just going boof, 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 in a circle around all of you, like in a high state of excitement.
Okay.
How did you
Egbert.
do, Dob?
A natural 20, actually.
Wow, okay.
Yay! First roll.
Dob, you
All
actually
20s from here on out, baby.
you casually step onto Seal Gaiman's back, surf him for a whole round of the room, and then sort of just like dismantle, doing a cool Seal Gaiman kickflip. And you are now, right next to the orb, which is glowing softly.
Good. Yeah. All right. Well, I want to just sort of take a look at it. I can tell it's puzzling in some way, but I want to look closer.
Okay. Make me an intelligence investigation roll, please.
Okay.
And be honest with me, are you going to lick it?
Well, looking at my roll, I think yes, I am going to lick it, Johnny.
Just rub a little on your gums.
That was a 13. I'm just going to what I'm going to do is I'm just going to look at it and go, yes, maybe some of these runes are familiar, and then I'm going to do a like a theatrical cough, and while covering my mouth, I'm just going to dart my tongue out.
Your tongue comes back like fizzy.
Nice. Like sherbet.
I have learned the secret of the orb.
The glow from the font after it was absorbed started basically the ball started glowing a weird purple colour, which you would expect to taste like grape, but it doesn't. It tastes like blue raspberry.
Fakest of all the flavours.
And as you sort of as you mlemmed the orb, you did feel sort of one of the buttons sort of shift a little bit. It does seem that some of these buttons can and indeed are designed to be pressed, but apart from that, you don't divine any further information for the time being.
Dob, you're a bard. Play it like one of those accordions.
No, stand back, everyone. I was president of Puzzle Sock at Lord Potionington's Academy for Potion Little Lords. I will easily solve this puzzle. I say, striding up to the
Puzzle Sock?
Yeah, Puzzle Sock.
While this is all happening, I've just been watching Seal Gaiman just circling and circling, and I quietly step forward and I cast Speak with Animals.
He hasn't noticed that you can now talk to him, but he is just
Seal Gaiman, Seal.
What?
Hey.
What?
Hi.
Victor
Hi.
Dietrich.
Hello.
Yeah. Victor? It's
Yes.
Victor, I believe. Hi.
Yes.
He remembers his human name. That's nice.
It's his
You
only
can't hear
name.
this, Dob.
It doesn't have a seal name. It's not supposed to be a seal. It's a horrifying act. It's a transgression. It's against nature.
Yes.
The purple cow god.
Okay, you seem quite excited
seal.
by the orb. Is that a
Yes.
good excitement or a bad excitement?
Absolutely, it's a good excitement. I found that thing on one of my many travels, which I mentioned to Egbert the last time I was human, which is shortly before he smashed me in the face repeatedly with a mace before I became a seal.
Wait, what? Egbert, what did... Okay. How many times did it take you, Egbert?
Did Egbert not tell you that I was once a man?
I'm
I'm not sure he ever did.
I don't know whether he did actually, no.
Okay, well...
We just
here.
sort of never talked about it. One of those things.
Worst
He just turned up with the seal. It didn't seem out of character for him.
He was like,
Right,
just
What
made a
happened to
friend.
Victor Dietrich?
Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
He was a nice guy.
Merrill, when he recounts the story of how he had invited Egbert back into his private chambers for a drink and a chat, and he wanted the whole spiel about Egbert's paladin order, but instead was just savaged with a mace.
Hang on. No, he went for an alarm button. Let's be honest.
Well,
Because
people
people
were
were
gonna
robbing
try and-
his
People were
museum.
robbing him.
Yeah, you guys
Oh,
were.
yeah, sorry, that was us.
That was us.
We're
Yeah.
we're
Technically,
incredibly
this is
sorry.
All you
And then Egbert did a jazz virtuoso solo on him until he became a seal.
Yeah.
We cut back in.
It's like the ending of Whiplash.
I'll admit I was furious. I was livid. But maybe don't tell Egbert this, but to be honest with you, I quite like being a seal.
That's convenient.
As you may not have known, I've certainly told Egbert before, the incident. I wasn't overly fond of the company of others. I didn't like spending time with other people and making small chat. But frankly, it's just nice to be out in the world again and interacting with people. I'd never had a Scotch egg before this. You know that? I've never had one. Now I've had a lot because they're
you've
great.
definitely made up for it, haven't you?
Oh, they're
Yeah.
delicious. Well, you would too. Especially if you're meant to be perfectly ovular.
Yeah. I mean,
but-
why not? Go
and-
all in.
And nobody talks to me, so I don't have to make idle chit-chat. I can just yell whenever I want. Look, watch this, watch this, watch this.
Don't shut that seal up. I'm trying to solve this puzzle box.
Not even telling me off directly. It's amazing. But I'm
unaware that Merylwen is having this conversation with Seal Gaiman, I'm stood by Corazon and I prepare to press A button at random and say, look, I think the thing we should do is just press A button at random. Let me just select one right now.
Dom, no, I've got to start all over again. I had a system. I was working top-wise.
Yeah, Corazon, you've been kind of rotating bits of it, and you notice it's arranged in a series of rings, and there are buttons. And in kind of turning it, you can feel there are lots of interlocking gears, and it kind of... But none of the sort of... If you have done any button presses, none of the sort of manipulations of the orb seem to have done anything just yet.
I was hoping Seal Gaiman would be upset that... Well, I wasn't hoping he'd be upset. I thought he might know.
You thought you might get a reaction?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I
see.
take a look at the orb? Does it have any
doesn't
markings on it? It's got buttons. Does it have any labels or
It's
etchings?
got sort of runes on it, but they're all just individual letters. You're not, and some of them are repeated, some of them are accented. You're not entirely sure.
What kind of letters are they?
They are all sorts of different alphabets.
Oh,
So
man.
you've got like infernal, you've got common, you've got dwarfish runes.
Dang. This is a puzzle.
I've managed to spell butt. Is that any good? Is that anything?
Wait a minute. This. All right, I'm going to say this as if it was all my idea. Wait a minute. We got this orb from that fellow's museum. What was his name?
Oh, Dietrich.
Dietrich.
The treasury, yeah.
Whatever happened
that
to him?
Big old museum.
If we could only find wherever
Guys.
Dietrich is,
Yes.
I mean, he must be
Guys.
miles away by now.
Guys.
Well, we'll have to undertake an epic quest to find him. Provision yourself well,
Guys.
friends.
And this is the thing, Merylwen. As you might know, I was planning on having the treasury turned into a museum for all of Geth once I died. And my staff certainly think me dead now, so now it's just becoming a project for everyone to enjoy, and I don't have to be dead. I can just
that's
be
good.
look. What? It's
Great.
I said shut that seal up!
I really love the knowledge that, you know, when you are going, like when you are shouting out, you literally are not saying anything, you're just actually making noise in seal language as well.
Yeah,
I love it.
yes,
it's
it's
great.
Yeah, it's freeing.
Okay, guys, this is Victor. This is the guy that owned the museum.
What?
What?
Yeah, this is
Say
good.
what?
He's sort of blubbers round in a dramatic reveal.
Oh my god. Now that I examine his features more closely.
They're so
Yes.
Dietrichian.
Yes. I boop his nose.
Can't you see it now?
That's it.
Wasn't it always there right in front of your
The
face?
eyebrows are the same.
It's got the same
Oh.
sort of pattern as his pulled back grey hair had.
Oh,
Egbert, what did you
Yes?
do?
I may have made Victor Dietrich into a seal. That's fine.
Merylwen, ask
He loves
this
it.
seal what the orb was.
Yeah. So Victor, what did you know about this orb that you had on display?
Very little, which is why I'm so excited that you've made it do something by dunking it in some juice. I never thought to do that, not once when I had hands.
Well,
No,
this seems this seems like very special juice. Like Prudence is now like powered up.
Oh,
I'm 40% more magical, so
Yeah.
whoa.
who knows what it's done to that orb? The orb took all the juice.
Tell her that I don't really know what the orb is. I found it on an adventure many years ago. It was in the middle of a crater. It looked like it crashed into a mountainside and took rather a big chunk out of the thing. And I was the first to find it. Didn't really know what it was. And at that point, I was just quite into stamps. So I just sort of put it in the treasury, in the occult, not sure what this is section. And didn't really think much about it until it got stolen. But then I was a seal, so I wasn't really thinking about much other than fish.
So
Right,
it's
okay.
alien in origin.
Where was
He
this?
doesn't know what it is, but it landed in. It looked like it fallen from the sky. So it's
Ew.
either alien or has been shot out from somewhere else on Earth and on Geth and.
I line up the letters alien because I'm not very good at spelling. Stat?
Make me a dex sleight of hand roll.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That is 17.
Okay. As you are kind of going alien, you sort of twist the two sort of two halves of the orb, and you feel a slight snick, like a slight resistance as you go past, and then you kind of go back. Kind of almost like if you can imagine doing a combination safe, which you presumably can just remember doing, being a rogue. It's that thing where you're like, oh, there's something there, I'm going to go back to that. You kind of, click, you line it up and there's a sense of connection. At the very top of the orb raises ever so slightly and starts to glow softly in a sort of waxing and waning light.
Oh, guys, it's doing something.
All right, put it in my mouth, Corazon.
Okay.
Dob, no.
Dob, no.
You actually going to put it in your mouth?
Wait,
When you say
at the
things,
last
they
second I
happen.
say, hang on.
I mean, no,
Hang on, Dob.
that's canon now. A Dob opens his mouth, and you start to push specifically the glowing bit, like, into his mouth.
This feels very out of character for me. I feel like I wouldn't
yeah, fair
actually
enough.
do this.
Okay, fine.
I go to do it, and then I think it's a terrible idea, because it's obviously a terrible idea. So I say, actually, Dob, let's not put this glowing thing in your mouth. It could be very dangerous and harm you.
You're the boss.
So I'd like to just sort of put it down on the plinth and sort of back up and just observe it.
Okay.
It seems dangerous.
About 10 seconds after you put it down, the light kind of glows again, and then kind of like it starts to release tiny little particles.
I'm glad
They're
that
like
wasn't in my mouth.
little glowing motes of light that sort of start to rise up, and they sort of start twirling around one another in a sort of a little cloud, and then the cloud sort of speeds up a bit, and the particles all kind of go and expand to form a ball above, like a holographic image almost, and it's a perfect facsimile of the ball itself, the orb. And then these motes kind of shrink back in, and they form these sort of triangular, almost cone-like, a single triangular cone-like shape that has sort of like almost rifling on the outside of it, sort of spiral-like, and it spins it around so you get a really good look at it, and then that image divides, and then it splits off again. So there are three of these sort of objects here.
Narwhal tusk looking.
You note on the cap of each one it seems to end in like a button, not unlike the ones on the surface of the orb. Two of these cones then dissipate, and it focuses on one, and then it's, as that hologram kind of changes, it's like there's a camera pulling out, and it reveals this object, and then suddenly it kind of rushes outwards, and you see that it is being held in the bottom of a tower. And as the camera continues to pull out, you see that this tower is on an island. The surface of this island is covered in jagged rocks, in like specifically placed massive metal spikes. In between all of this stuff, there seem to be like a forest of grasping, sort of thorny vines that are moving almost of their own volition. You've got this main tower which stretches up into the sky, and next to it there is a much smaller tower with a single drawbridge that goes from there to there and can be pulled up and lowered back down. And could you all make me some sort of common knowledge-y type roll?
Common knowledge. Okay.
Can I go for history?
Yeah, this is basically a Geth history roll.
18.
Wow, okay. Yes, you know exactly what this is, Dob.
Yes. And I'm not telling.
Can I make this a perception?
Sure, you can make a perception if you want.
Wow.
Okay, if I can make it.
Wow. That's 6.
Okay.
If I can make a
Rolled
perception,
it.
then it's a 16.
Okay.
Rolled an 11
No,
in
15.
intelligence.
Egbert and Merylwen, you're not sure what this is.
I'm feeding Seal Gaiman a Scotch egg for being such a good boy.
He's having a great time. But although he does sort of turn to Merylwen and is like, do you mind not listening to my thoughts and words while I'm eating a Scotch egg, please?
Oh no, that's fine.
They are
I'll
not
leave
safe for
leave
broadcast.
you to it. The spell will wear off in a
That's
second.
me
It's only a 10-minute spell, so don't worry. It'll be wearing off in a second.
Tell me when I can go.
Wow.
Okay, so say something. Yeah, no, it's good. You're good.
He just like monsters this Scotch egg. Dob, Prudence, and Corazon, you all recognise this as the most famous prison in all of Geth. This is Alcatraz, the island of no escape. It is a renowned and terrifying island because when you go in there, You don't come out. It is a prison solely for life sentences. And depending on where you are in Geth, you can be sent to them for the most heinous of crimes. So, I mean, certainly in some jurisdictions, you would all be lifers by now, based on the things that you've done.
And that's fair.
Yeah, but also it contains a lot of people who are in there for, things like littering or loitering.
Oh, well, that's not fair.
The
Because
worst
this
kind of scum imaginable.
Well, this prison is decidedly infamous, really, because it is owned by a family. It's privately owned, and it's run by a business. So, effectively, they have made incarceration into profit. And so they...
Surely not.
I know. It's owned by a family known as the Astor family, and they are infamous for giving bribes to lawmakers and judges across Geth to put people away for life in Alcatraz, just so they can fill their coffers. It is a dangerous, horrible place, and it's used to frighten children at night. So if you don't go to bed and behave right now, you'll end up in Alcatraz. Also, notably, it is famous for, unlike any other prison in Geth, it does not separate magic users and non-magic users among the prison populace. The Astor seems to just have like a casual disregard for magic, and despite the fact that it basically makes magic users into rulers in a corrupt and violent prison system over those who do not have magic powers, they don't care. They're just stationed there. So the main tower is the prison itself. The other tower is the guards' quarters. The only way in is by air. Airships come every so often to replenish the stores of Alcatraz and also replenish the numbers of prisoners. It looks like, for some reason or other, whatever this object is that the orb is showing you is contained therein. The orb then kind of like it shows you this island, and it spins around for a bit, and then the motes kind of dim and just get sucked back into the orb. That button closes, and then with a kind of like hiss, 3 apertures open up.
It's a bowling ball,
on
I
the
knew
orb
it.
itself.
So, it's a bowling ball.
Well,
They're on opposite sides. You can have inspiration for that. And also, Corazon, I meant to give you inspiration for the posh school for posh kids.
Lord Poshington's Academy.
Yes, sorry.
It's a very serious school. Very well in the league tables.
Inspiration's a serious business.
So the cone things go in the holes, right? That's
Yeah.
Oh, so they're
So-
keys. Right.
So this orb is missing 3 little cones.
Yep. Yes.
I think that's what this means.
And everyone else saw that. That's what's the name of that prison island? Tip of my tongue.
Alcatraz.
Prison
Alcatraz.
Island? What?
Yeah.
I say, oh, let me tell you all about Alcatraz, and then in square brackets is everything Johnny just said.
Wow. Yeah, sorry. Those stories
described it so
never reached
vividly,
us in the
Dom.
woods. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you need to swear quite so much?
I've got a flair for a theatrical description. What can I say? Okay, so it seems like, I mean, this orb is telling us that it is not whole, that it wants to be complete again, and that we need to find the bits to complete it.
Yes, but...
And that one of the bits is in Alcatraz, so we should break in like anti-criminals. Or, well, I mean, I suppose it's criminal, and get it.
How can it be a crime to put yourself in prison? That's
Yes,
not possible.
Egbert's right.
It's the
Checkmate.
opposite of a crime.
It's the opposite of a crime.
You should get to do one free crime if you put yourself in prison.
Yeah.
Okay, several things. One, no one gets out of Alcatraz, famously. It's an unescapable prison.
Yes.
2, why should we
But we're
do
trying
what
to get
this-
in.
Yeah, but then after we are in, we then have to get out.
Damn it, you're
Unless
right.
it's not.
Corazon, you're always 2 steps ahead. That's what I like about you.
But also, why should we do what this orb tells us to?
Because look at it. Look at it. Look at its little face.
It's
It's
sad.
creepy as
Don't you-
hell. It's covered
Yeah.
in... It's like some
Yeah,
kind of
it is.
hell orb. What
Do
if
the
we...
one of
miss-
the best things.
What if
do
we
the
bring
missing
about...
Make it whole.
What about if we bring about the end times? If this is some kind of doomsday orb that
Look
needs
at it,
cones
Corazon.
to make doomsday happen?
I hold it up, and now Corazon notices that the holes in the orb do, in fact, look a little bit like a sad face when all put together. It's missing its bits.
It's a bloody doomsday orb, maybe, I say.
Well, if it's gonna doomsday, I say we Hurry that
Don't,
up.
Hurry
don't,
up.
What
don't
if,
you want
like-
the doomsday orb to be on your side when it becomes whole and tries to end the world?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah?
Good point.
Don't
I'm
you
with
want it to owe you a
Prudence.
favour when it tries to end the world? Huh?
There's also the possibility of like I would like to like listen to the orb and see if there is a ticking sound.
Oh,
Okay.
like we might be on a clock or something.
Wisdom perception, please.
Okay. Okay, that is 17. Yeah, 17 if I'm adding the right ones up. 17.
Okay. It is not ticking, but it
Okay.
definitely makes a little noise. It kind of, you know how just powerful artifacts just sort of go like,
Yeah.
like they're just
a mechanical hard drive is just always just sort of like.
Yeah. Yeah, like they're just constantly breathing out, and you don't know whether or not it's writing data.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
Just doing
no.
that all the time.
Can I do an Arcana check on this thing and just?
Yeah.
All right, but
Whoa,
safely
whoa,
eject
whoa.
it first.
If anyone's going to do an Arcana check on this orb, I
Well, you
raised
don't appear
Corazon.
to be doing an Arcana check on this thing.
I was going to suggest we take it to a grand old library on our way to Alcatraz, because you know how I love a grand old library. But if we're going to do it, sure, let's Arcana check this dealie.
All right,
All right.
go ahead.
You can both do
All
it.
right. No, you go ahead. All right, Arcana. Oh. I rolled a 1.
Oh!
Orb.
I was
Orb need
re-
bit.
I was really looking forward to adding my proficiency bonus in Arcana because I very rarely get to do that. Sorry.
Prudence one open orb. Like
Yeah.
ball magic. Prudence,
Prudence
one
one
in.
open orb. Orb open for Prudence.
That's cool.
While the Arcana check is happening, Dob is sort of pacing back and forth and racking his brains to try and remember where the nearest airship station to Alcatraz is.
Good question. Very good question. Okay.
Oh, are we gonna get aboard of some sort of prison bus?
Well, we should get
convicts.
there are supplies
Some
ones
sort
as well,
of con
right?
airship.
We could get ourselves sent there for like littering.
That's a different Nicolas Cage movie.
Let's go to the town where they arrest people for littering and just drop some crisp packets.
Yes!
No, but they might take all our stuff.
But we'll be kings in there.
Whoa,
As
whoa, whoa, we
all
should-
of us are very powerful magic users.
We should have an insider. One of us should be applying for
Apply
a job
to be
as a
a
guard.
yes. But hang on, we still haven't addressed the central problem I have with
Oh,
this
damn.
scheme. Is that why
Damn.
are we carrying out the plans of this apocalyptic doomsday orb?
Well, why anything,
What else have you got
Corazon?
on?
Why this? Why
I've got
that?
continuing
Do
to
you have
exist in a world that hasn't been destroyed by an apocalyptic doomsday orb.
I point at the
Doesn't
orb's
sound
sad
important
face
to me.
again, as if nothing more needs to be said.
Right, before we do any of this,
It's missing its bits.
I want to divine the intentions of this orb. So I'm
Go
going
on
to do an Arcana check and see if it looks weird.
Go for it.
Oh, what if we cast Cone of Truth on the orb and ask it?
Zone of Truth.
Oh, sorry, Zone.
It's not a cone.
It's like you put it over its head.
Yeah,
Cast Cone of Cold on this orb.
Cone of Truth is a
16
magic
on the
check,
Arcana
but-
check.
16.
As if Corazon's gonna divine more Arcana magic from this than me,
The
Prudence.
way to learn more about the orb is to put bits in it. See what it does.
So you're pretty sure, Corazon. I mean, you're not sure what the whole "it appeared to be in the middle of a crater" stuff is about. But you remember in classics at school that you studied a lot about the vessels of the first magic users to appear in Geth. Because as everybody knows, sort of magic seemed to pop into the world of Geth at some point. In many ways, these magic users were imbued with more power than they could really make use of it at any one time, so they started to build these vessels that would store
Sorcery.
extra power, extra energy, could even store spells that they had no space to remember, and they could just kind of like
Just back them up
stick
there.
them straight back in. And you suspect that this is one of those such things. It belonged to a powerful magic user who used to keep useful magic things in there for future use, and you know that sort of checks out with the whole absorbing the powerful magic sports drink,
Yeah,
and that time it ate a minotaur. It was a minotaur, wasn't it?
it was a
believe it
Minotaur.
was.
It was a Minotaur,
Yeah.
yeah.
That means
Yeah.
the Minotaur is on the orb hard drive.
Okay, well this thing sounds like it could be extraordinarily dangerous if it fell into the wrong hands. I'm not saying we're the right
Wronger
hands.
hands.
Yeah, but also there are people who are definitely wronger than us.
I think if there were people watching this situation play out right now, they would say the orb has fallen into the wrong hands and this is extremely dangerous.
Well, maybe we'll find out more about it if we start to collect these cone deals that go in it.
Yeah, we could open it up and have all of the magical secrets stored in there.
Yeah.
That's a
and
kind
also
of treasure.
a Minotaur. Pet
like
Minotaur.
treasure.
Yeah, the Minotaur might pop out. And do you remember I punched him right in the area?
Well,
Probably angry about
we'll
it.
cross that bridge when we come to it, Corazon.
Okay.
Just to jog your memory, I believe the Minotaur going into the orb was compared to the Ballad of Alien Resurrection.
Yeah, it all got minced. It
Oh,
got minced
yeah.
on the way in.
Yeah.
So
But it might get unminced on the way out. That's
got
how magic can
extruded.
work.
It got
Probably
fragmented.
minced
No,
at all.
Extrudence, your lesser known cousin.
All right, reluctantly, I think let's go along with this plan. But I really
Yeah,
think we
don't you
should
want
try
to
and
unlock
find out.
ancient magical secrets?
I'm already the best at magic, though. I mean, how much better could I?
You could be more magical. There could be new and better forms of Greece in there,
Oh, that's true. I would.
forgotten to time
I have
and
to
to
be
magic.
working on new and
Magic,
better forms of
Corazon,
Greece.
the music of the spheres. Quite this literal spheres, magical music.
All right, fine. But I still think we should find out more about this orb, as and when we can.
Agreed.
Okay.
Yep. Big time.
Right,
So,
let's go to prison.
who wants to be the guard?
Sure. Who wants to be the prison guard? Which
I
of
want
us
to
would
ride
make-
on an airship, please.
Corazon wants to be a prison
I'd
guard.
like to be the prison guard.
I suppose everyone who's not a prison guard needs to get busted for some kind
littering. Let's go to the littering. Where is littering?
Well, it's
Crime
presumably
with a life imprisonment
the
sentence.
town
Yeah,
nearest
but
to the prison is where
we
they will
shouldn't
A,
litter,
recruit
though.
guards from, and B, just arrest people for littering.
Why don't
right?
we just sneak in on a supplies airship, and then if they catch us, we'll get arrested anyway?
of.
Kills two birds with one stone, probably. Sort of.
That's pretty
Yeah.
good, yeah.
That's pretty good. Although I still think, also that way we don't have to actually litter, and I do hate littering.
Yeah.
And I think,
And also there'll be snacks on the supply thing. It might not be good. It'll be prison food, but it'll be food.
yeah,
Yeah.
could be good. I still think Corazon should be a guard though in both scenarios. Someone on the inside.
We need to find out how they recruit their guards. So I think we should go to the nearest town to the prison. And
Yes, let's
ask
travel.
around. Yeah.
To the coastline nearest Alcatraz. But first
Yes.
we got to get out of this dang dungeon, y'all.
Oh yeah.
It's alright.
Is
There'll
there-
be like a lever somewhere in this room
I
that
looked for the
opens
fire
the door.
exit. Yeah.
There
Yeah,
a lever
and-
and a door leading back outside.
And it'll pop you
yeah.
right back out.
There's a
the
door
entrance.
onto the town centre.
Yeah.
Didn't we have a guy with us?
Oh yeah.
A
Oh
Bob?
yeah, where is he?
Yeah.
Bob.
Yeah, where's Bob?
Did you get swallowed by the orb?
Oh,
Did
no.
anyone notice?
Yeah, Bob's still there. He's like,
Oh, whew.
a lot of things you just said there. I
Yeah.
don't really understand any of them.
Bob, what do you think of this situation?
Bob,
I
you're
mean-
going to jail. You're going away for a long time, Bob.
Oh, well, is that what you want?
Well, I mean, you can hang. We've loved having you on the team, and you're welcome to become a full-time Oxventurer. But the next thing we're doing is deliberately going to the world's worst jail. So,
Okay.
if you are up for that, you are welcome to tag along.
Yeah.
If not, okay, cool,
Yeah, sure.
great.
Yeah.
Why
All
are
right.
you fighting?
He's keen, isn't he?
inviting Bob?
I didn't think it'd say yes. The
I
plan
abandoned my
sounds
entire
awful.
livelihood to answer the call because you said,
Now
we
he
were
has said
family.
yes, and
I
now we've
thought,
got him.
that sounds nice.
He won't last a second in prison.
So,
Corazon. Nobody
him
wants
alive.
Bob to be in the guild, but he is in the guild now. So,
What?
do we
It's not-
do
just
we have
tell
to
him
walk
to
back
go
through
home.
the dungeon, or is there sort of a?
Yeah, Bob,
is there a back-
you go back through the dungeon, Bob.
Hey.
Send Bob back
Okay.
to the dungeon.
Yeah.
Don't be mean.
All right.
there should be
I-
no, Bob.
No, Bob,
stick
come
with
with
us.
us.
There should be a
Okay.
lever. There should be a lever somewhere.
Yeah.
All right.
I look around for the lever.
Cool.
There's a lever. Very obvious.
Cool. I give it a good old yank.
It kind of a section of the wall just kind of comes up in a way that you're like, that's the entranceway. I remember that.
Hey, we should have looked for every. Okay, next time we do this, when we go in, look
Yeah.
for a door. That's it.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it will lead straight to the final room.
All right, out into the bright sunlight or dark
All right.
moonlight.
Yeah.
It's bright sunlight.
Dim gloaming.
I'm gonna pick up the orb to like give to Prudence.
Yep.
And as I pick it up, I just feel a bit weird. Like I feel the hum. I just like, ugh. And then just pass it over to Prudence and like, you carry this. I don't wanna.
Cheers.
I just feel.
Are you all right, Merylwen?
You
Yeah?
look a bit funny.
Yeah.
You want to
No?
cure wounds? I'll cure your wounds. You got wounds?
No. I just feel a bit strange is all. That's fine. I'm fine. Fine. I'm fine. Come on, let's go.
Oh,
right,
did
well,
you do
just-
that? I say to the orb, and I put it on my head, and like it's a baby, and I'm
amuse
giving
it.
It
Blow a raspberry on
appears
its
to have
tummy.
some form of gyroscope, and it's kind of gimbaling to stay on your head.
Oh, ding,
It's
ding,
cool.
ding, ding. Yeah.
You emerge into the sunlight.
So I guess we'll travel to the nearest town where we picked up Bob, and then make travel arrangements to the town closest to the prison. Yes?
Sounds great.
Sounds
yeah.
like a plan.
Bob will get killed easily.
Bob,
This is high adventure.
Yeah.
I think you're ready for this. Now, say if this is too much.
Mm-hmm.
And it really might be. So I don't want you to
Okay.
take this on. Okay.
I'm ready. Hit me with it. Come on. Bob's
The
ready.
bravest Oxventurer in the group needs
Yeah.
to stay
Yeah.
behind and look after Seal Gaiman. Prison is no place for a sweet seal. Now,
He could be attacked
we're
at
all
any time
terrified.
from
We're
his
all
enemies.
Yeah, we're all very afraid to do it. Normally, we sort of draw straws, but it's customary to ask, are there any volunteers for this most intrepid and dangerous and
Are you trying to
daring?
get me to volunteer for SEAL duty because you don't want me to come to prison?
I'd never volunteer for SEAL duty. It's
No!
too dangerous and reckless.
But, all right, Bob, I'm on SEAL duty. You go to prison.
Okay, great. Yeah, brilliant. All right. Okay.
I can't stand this awkward conversation, and I volunteer to not be in the Oxventure.
Okay,
Oh, man.
yeah, that sounds
Bob
great.
is so
That doesn't.
passag. I can't stand it. I'm not
Yeah, well, I mean,
Whoa! All right, Bob, you're with us. Let's go. Let's go.
cool.
I can't sleep on
travel.
Bob and run away.
Is that in a level 1 or a level 2 spell?
No, it's coming out of level 4.
He's in a coma.
Hey, you never know when we might need a Bob.
Well, we'll know where he is if we need it.
Meat
I think
shield.
you'll find
What are you
us.
thinking?
Yeah.
I think Bob is going to be like an It Follows. Wherever we are in Geth, Bob is always trying to join the Oxventure,
You
steadily
always need to
pacing
stay
towards us.
in houses with a continuous path around them, so you can make for the door. Okay, you walk back to the nearby town. As you start to sort of emerge back into the town of sort of in a hustle and bustle and people are going about their daily business, see sort of an elderly lady crossing the road, kind of going along, and then a knife flies just behind her head and just and clatters into the dirt behind her. And Bobs goes, "Prison!" and like pulls another throwing knife.
No!
It's like,
Bob,
"Come
no!
on, prison!"
Stop him! Grab him!
All right,
grab his arm.
I do cast Sleep on Bob.
Okay,
Whoa! Oh.
he missed with the knife. Yeah, cast sleep.
All right,
What spell slot are you doing this in?
4.
Okay.
I radically mistook Bob's alignment.
I mean, it's like, you know how when you put a magnet near a compass?
Yes.
Yes.
The Oxventurers Guild.
Oh.
Right. So it's our fault, is it?
We've been a bad influence.
It's not your fault.
All right, what I either need to know Bob's HP or I tell you the number, I guess, and
Tell me the number.
Okay,
I'm
that
not
was,
saying I haven't rolled up Bob, but I'm not saying I haven't.
I got a 32. I actually sent that from a second level spell slot.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Bob's going, "Prison!" and face plants in the dirt.
Oh, sweet Bob.
All right. How about we write a note that says, "Dear Bob, we didn't want to wake you because
You're
you
out
were
of the
sleeping
guild."
so peacefully. We'll see you when we get back from
Yeah.
prison. Please
Makes
try
10
to
stretch.
Don't kill any old ladies.
don't try and join us in prison, please,
Yeah.
because we might have left by the time you get there, and then we can't get you out.
Then you'll be in prison.
Then you'll be in prison forever." I write all this on a piece of parchment and just tuck it inside Bob's.
Put hugs and kisses
nostril.
at the end.
Yeah. Hugs and kisses. Your friends in the guild.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say that's taken up 52 of the 60 seconds for which Bob is going to be
Oh,
asleep.
run!
right.
So
Okay,
you
right.
now all
Run,
need
run,
to,
run.
We all
to
run.
hoof it.
We all run around the corner.
cast invisibility
They
on
can't
myself.
see us.
We're all
I'm not going to make you roll for
pinned
this.
against the wall around the corner.
You hear him go, "Prison!" What? Oh. And then there's sort of a long pregnant pause, which Dob for you is excruciating as you hear him kind of mumbling like, "No. Don't try and do hugs and kisses."
I've never seen Dob this upset.
Not even when he killed all those orphans.
Yeah.
You hear him walk away, dragging his feet slightly in the dirt.
All right, someone's going to have to stop me from getting him back.
No, don't.
All right,
No.
I pin Dob's arms to the wall. Let's go to prison.
Oh, Johnny, you weren't kidding about the world leveling up. This is absolutely brutal. Okay.
All right.
We've added passive aggression as a difficulty modifier.
And how?
What has this town got in terms of, like, is there a stagecoach company? Is there some kind of cool steam train? Some kind of
there's
fantasy
a
steam
Big
train?
cannon.
There's certainly a stagecoach company. There's a big cannon. It's how they sound the time of day.
Can we get fired out of it?
Can we point the cannon
Can we
at
not
where we
take
want
a
to
lovely
go?
stagecoach? Treat ourselves.
We
Yeah.
can't take a stagecoach to an island.
No,
but-
we're going to the island that
place
supplies
nearby.
Alcatraz.
The only way to get to Alcatraz is on the airships.
Yeah, I imagine the airships launch though from. I mean,
From
the
nearby.
range of an airship is only so far, so presumably the airships have to launch from relatively close to the island with the supplies. I think Corazon is onto something when he says they probably recruit prison guards from the local population, and they probably send supplies from the local, town.
Okay, so yeah, yeah, great.
Let's travel. I mean, you can take a cannon if you want, Egbert.
Is it an option?
Well, let's get a stagecoach and then we can have a long old rest.
Well, we'll get a stagecoach.
Yes!
Egbert, if you would like, you can attempt to shoot yourself out of a cannon.
For 5
Can
more
I?
gold pieces, it costs 10 to make the journey, but for 5 extra gold pieces, you can hire a stagecoach with a cannon on the roof. So
when
you
we
can
get to
sort
the
of
end
send
of
him
the
on
journey,
ahead.
I can fire myself the last, miles.
It's a false economy to not get the stagecoach with a
Yeah.
cannon mounted on top.
All right, sounds
It
good.
also
Also,
has
what if
extra
there are
foot room.
what if there are highway robbers and stuff?
Yeah,
You'll want to have a
cannons.
cannon.
You want to have a cannon.
So
Okay.
Along the way, we just shoot Egbert out of the cannon, maybe 100 feet, and then when we go that 100 feet, we pick Egbert up, fire
Yeah,
him.
climbs back in the cannon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Scout
over
it.
and over.
It'll be a
scouting
lovely
ahead.
time.
We
Yeah.
do that
Yeah.
physics experiment where you fire Egbert directly up while we're moving at a steady pace, and he lands back in the
Back
cannon
in
each
the
time.
But yes, you make your way to on the stagecoach and with the cannon. The journey is, it's very eventful if you're talking, unless firing a dragonborn out of a cannon is somehow passé. And you are tired of the constant explosions by the end of the journey, but nonetheless, you arrive at the
I
town.
was trying
closest...
to have a long rest,
Oh,
No one got
yeah.
any rest.
but I was
This-
woken every 4 or 5 minutes by a cannon explosion.
We can call that a long rest. Why not?
Well, I only
So-
need several short rests, as you know, Johnny, so
Indeed.
it's good for me.
Man, I could have cast grease. And I
Oh,
would
I'm
have come
sorry.
back.
The journey is long enough that you can cast grease and then have a long rest if you really want. You sort of, to grease the cannon
Yeah.
up. So
With
you
a
can really
theatrical-
point
Grease
it
the
to
wheels
the
of the stagecoach for extra speed as well.
With
Yeah,
a
there you
theatrical
go.
link
Lower
to the
rolling
others, I
resistance.
spray grease all over the stagecoach.
But why?
Because spells are important now.
Yeah.
The
That's
spells
true.
are a finite resource.
Yeah,
so
we
you
wouldn't want
have
to waste
do it.
them.
What level
Yeah.
spell slot did you fire grease out of?
Well, no, hang on.
It's a very personal question.
If Corazon's going to take a long rest, really, we should get him to fill a bucket.
In case we need grease. Alright, yeah.
Everything we might need further on.
Somebody
Then he can
milk
have a long
Corazon,
rest.
please.
I thought it.
Oh,
Does it dissolve like Spider-Man's web? I can't remember.
it's magical, so it probably does. It probably magically dissipates.
I don't think it's
doesn't it?
even biodegradable. I think it's there forever. It's like
Polluted.
Yeah,
plastic
no,
in the
no,
ocean.
the
No,
North,
it
the
doesn't
North
disappear,
Pacific.
just,
Oh, okay, the North Pacific grease patch is the biggest threat to Geth's ecosystem right now. Apart from the carbon emissions from this
From the
stagecoach.
cannons. Yeah. There's a giant hole in the ozone layer now.
But
It's all
eventually,
Holes that Egbert keeps punching.
Imagine in one of them he just goes slightly too high and just floats off into space.
That's
into
not
asynchronous
canon.
orbit. That's not canon. Not anymore. It's not.
Briefly
Right.
struggling before falling silent and floating away into the infinite blackness.
You eventually arrive at it is it's a market town that does most of its business in resupplying Alcatraz. It is a town that is perfectly nice. There's lots of sort of green pastures nearby. There's a lovely river flowing through the middle that's lovely to walk along the embankment of. It is, to all intents and purposes, a very idyllic place. However, there is also sod all happening there. And it's a very long way away from anything else. So if, for example, you were like a teen growing up there and your friends didn't live nearby, you'd have an absolutely dreadful time. You'd come to resent it in a way that really stays with you long into your life. And you would never want to go back there. It's called Bedford.
All right.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm so there in my mind.
So this is Bedford, is it?
So this
Yes,
is
it's got
Does it have a
lots
good
of
swimming pool?
swans.
There's not many beds.
Not anymore.
Oh,
No.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was
Very
looking forward
recently.
to having a swim in the old
Yeah.
Bedford swimming pool.
Yeah. It's not there now.
So there's.
all right.
Is
Well,
there
I mean,
a watering hole for travellers? Some kind of oasis?
Is that the name of a terrible club in Bedford?
No, you wanted what was that? No, Oasis was a swimming pool, but it's
Yeah.
just closed down.
We'll stop making Bedford references in a second.
Yeah, they are quite niche. You go. There's a tavern called the Ship, which is fine. It'll do.
Let's go to that fine tavern. But, fine tavern.
It's a fine tavern. Yeah, it's called the Ship, but you notice on the sign it's an airship.
Oh.
And we're back in the fantasy world.
All right. So
the apostrophe ship.
let's get a table. I'll go up to the bar to order a round of drinks, and then
Thanks, Corazon.
while ordering the drinks, I'll ask the bartender. The prison they've got here, are they? Do you know if they're hiring guards?
Alcatraz?
Yeah. I heard.
Most
the other one.
always.
Oh yeah. How does it? What's the? Do you know
Who's
what
your
the application
friend?
process is? I'm just in town. I'm looking for work.
Well, you're in luck actually, because normally 4 months at a time there's nothing, but then every 4 months we resupply the prison. We send you 3 airships, one with supplies, one with prisoners, one with new prison guards, because they eat a lot there, and the mortality rates are quite high for both prisoners and prison guards. Why are you interested in joining up?
Yeah. I thought I heard it was good, honest work for good, honest pay.
Yeah,
I say,
sure.
or laughing at the words coming out of my mouth.
He's pulling a pint from an engine. You notice that it's got like a stylized A on top of the sort of the engine pump. He hands it over. It is weak and extremely bitter.
Like Astor, all Astors. Cool. So what's the application process? Some kind of jobs fair is there, or interview, something like that?
No, you just go around to the guardhouse. You have to undergo a trial. You have to show that you can shout.
Pretty good at that, yeah.
Anything really, like you horrible little worm, or shut up, or I'll put you in more prison.
Yeah. Extra prison.
Double
You've got
prison.
they've got a sort of a test dummy that's sort of curled up on the floor in a fetal position. You've got to beat that senseless.
Yeah.
And that's it really.
Not a problem.
Oh, they'll ask you what newspaper you read.
Okay.
Choose wisely.
Okay. Cool.
That's
Sounds
it.
good. Are they hiring lots of people?
I mean, it depends. You know,
Right.
the prison sort of says how many the take is going to be, and then they're shipping the new ones.
All right. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Tip them for the information as well.
Oh,
Go back to the table with the drinks. All right.
Cheers.
So I found
what
out
is
how
this?
they're.
It's bitter and
Yeah,
bad.
it's the local brew. I don't know,
Yeah.
some Astor brand drink.
Astor, is it?
Yeah,
All right.
probably copied it off a better, more original drink. So it sounds like they're hiring a bunch of guards. If more people wanted to apply, we could all apply to be guards. None of us would have to be prisoners.
But wouldn't it be more useful to be on both sides of
What?
the divide?
But the
once
thing
we're
is,
in
the
there?
prisoners would be kept locked in a cell and not able to move or go anywhere.
Now, but we would be able to talk to other prisoners, and those prisoners wouldn't be talking to guards. Information will be flowing more freely on the prisoner's side, I think. Also, we don't know anything about where the cone that we're looking for of courage or wisdom or
Power.
Power
That's the
is.
other one, yeah.
we could, we don't know anything. It could be like buried in a wall. It could be in a prisoner's pocket. It could be in the warden's
It could be a
office.
cone-shaped prisoner.
There could be a
it would
cone.
be
they
in a-
could-
I don't think a prisoner would have it.
Why?
I remember the vision, the holographic vision we got back in the dungeon. And wasn't it at the bottom of a tower?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was at the bottom of a tower. We know that much.
And the tower is part of the prison. Is that right?
Yeah.
Did I remember? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Was it on like a plinth or something, or was it just like a general place?
It's like a general. I don't think it was specific about its location.
Yeah, I don't think we saw it
Let me
that
just
zoomed in, did we?
think
Okay.
back to the.
It's more like a Metroid map, like a sort of like kind of generally this room.
Right.
I think.
Right.
Got it.
okay. I would like you to make me
a memory roll?
Pretty much, yes.
Oh no! Oh, wow, this is what you get for not paying attention.
Joke's on you, I can just rewind this recording.
Wisdom insight, please.
Oh, okay, wisdom, that's good. That is good.
I didn't see
6.
I didn't see the PowerPoint presentation.
20!
20.
Nice.
14 plus 2, 16.
No, Egbert,
16
you did
as well.
see it, but we just didn't know what it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
You lack the context.
We just
I
didn't.
was feeding a Scotch egg to a seal. I wasn't
Oh,
concentrating.
okay.
Seal Gaiman has been in a Scotch egg coma.
Yeah.
But on the mention of a Scotch egg, he wakes up and starts nuzzling at your armpit.
All right, you can have another one, but only because you've been such a good boy.
You gotta put this seal in a kennel or something before we head to prison.
A
Doc's
kennel?
right. Prison is
How
no
dare
place for
you.
seals.
Might be useful.
They'll eat him up. They'll eat him all
Yeah,
up.
he'll join a gang.
He's blubbery and delicious.
He's the former person who found the orb. He might be useful.
They don't
that is
let
true.
seals into prison. You can't just turn up with your cat.
But it's an island. He could swim there. We could meet him
Yeah.
at the beach or something.
That's true.
Yeah, we just hurl him in the water and he'll make his own way.
All right.
I love it. I love it.
We'll have a seal
So-
on the inside.
Those of you who made successful rolls that were not 20s, you remember that it is in the bottom, and the hologram was detailed but not super detailed. But it seemed like on each sort of layer, each round floor of the prison, there are cells kind of lining the walls, and on the bottom level there is a central hub, kind of like a ticket desk almost in an underground train system. And it's there that it is held. It seems to be some sort of guard's room. Merylwen, you noticed that the cones seem to have a lot of lines coming off of it that sort of disappeared into different parts of the hologram.
Okay, so the cone had different lines. So is that like connections to it or pathways to it? Maybe if we follow one of those
Maybe
lines.
we have to find individual bits of the cone.
Seems to be connections rather than paths.
Connect-
So
From
maybe
your
they're
memory.
using the cone for some sort of
Oh,
Maybe
the
they're
cone could be
powering-
powering
like
the.
it's a wiring diagram.
Yeah.
They could be
yeah,
powering
I
the
think
bloody
yeah,
prison with
it. It's an electricity thing, magic.
Yeah. All right.
Using
Right,
like
does anyone
lightning
else-
magic.
Does anyone else want to join me in becoming a guard?
It does
Who's-
sound like guards would have good access to the
Yeah.
cones.
Who's
We
team
should
guard?
maybe-
Who's team prisoner?
Well,
Team prisoner.
I'll go team prisoner. Sod it.
Oh, I could be a guard.
Okay.
I feel like
Yeah, I'll go for a guard
I could
as
be
well.
cruel and terrible for
All
a
right.
living.
We're going to montage this stuff. Team guard, you gotta say one thing that you yell to prove that you're horrible at yelling enough.
I smash your face!
That's really quite good.
You're
you
going
are
in the hole.
Excellent, Egbert.
You maggot!
Wonderful.
And then I breathe fire.
Whoa.
Oh, wow, that's pretty good. You then have to hit the test dummy. Show what's your signature move with a truncheon. They give you a truncheon. His signature move. Go now.
Flying leg drop.
With a truncheon.
Unconventional, but they like it.
Flying crossbody forearm using the truncheon.
Very good. Very stylish. Prudence.
I spin around like a Tasmanian devil and like get in multiple hits with the truncheon.
They applaud you. And they give you a promotion.
Oh, sweet.
It doesn't really mean anything, but it just means that you're like extra good guard.
Good
They
guard.
give you a nicer truncheon
I
as
found my
part of your
vocation at
your
last.
kit. You're
Being a
given your
horrible prison
uniforms,
guard.
which are very finely tailored, with sort of high collars, and they just look pretty. They're all sort of like branded with A's on them, and they look like uniforms for horrible guards. Team prison, what are you doing? How are you getting arrested?
All right.
You were right, by the way, in your supposition that this is they source a lot of prisoners from here as well. The judicial system in Bedford is notoriously strict.
Okay, well, I think a way for it to be a relatively victimless crime is we wait for
Littering.
Prudence, Egbert, and Corazon to come out of the recruitment centre having been recruited as guards. And then I'm going to run up and just punch them in the face.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, mate.
Victimless crime.
You said victimless crime.
Yeah,
Maybe
it
a
doesn't
strength
count
attack.
it doesn't count if it's within the party.
Let me a strength attack, please.
I'd like to do the same, but what I would like to do is not actually hit them, is to do a kind of like acrobatic leap onto one of their backs, as if like how the wrestlers of Geth who jump around and like pretend like they're hurting each other, but they're not actually doing that.
Okay.
So I'd like to do like leap onto like Egbert's back because I know that
Wonderful.
he won't feel it as much.
Yep, Dex
Just be like,
acrobatics
"Ah!"
check, please, Merylwen.
Okay.
Wisdom insight check from you, please, Egbert, to see if you get that you're meant to be doing a job.
Okay, right.
Okay.
Dom, how does he do?
12 on the strength, so
Who?
I don't know if that's beating any armor classes, but it's certainly going to be a violent attack.
What's everyone's armor class? If it's 12 or under, you have to tell me.
15, baby.
It's
12.
17.
Oh no! You punch Prudence in the face.
Oh no! Oh, what was that? Oh, Dub!
Have some of this.
Guards! Guards!
Have some of this, guards. That's for This is
Ow, my face.
This
I
is
say.
my-
Brigands are attacking us!
this is my childhood friend, Merylwen. Give a fake name, quick.
Celine.
Celine, and I am Stanford, and we hate guards,
I
prison
wrestle
guards.
Dob to the ground. I say, help! Help!
I say
the
you're
brigands!
going in the hole for this.
Got to make it look real. I cast Thunderwave.
My wisdom roll was a 3 minus 1, by the way.
Okay, you absolutely believe that you're under attack, Egbert. Merylwen, how was your Dex acrobatics roll?
It was a 17.
Okay, right, you do actually manage to sort of grapple on to Egbert. That Egbert is 100% convinced that he's under attack. Egbert, what do you do?
Spinning pile driver.
Spinning pile driver. Okay, make me a strength attack, please.
Oh no.
Prudence, you're not going to take any damage for being punched in the face by Dob, but you are certainly going to remember it.
Oh, God.
You don't feel great about
A
this.
very bloody nose, yeah.
Seeing my lifetime partner Celine under attack, I summon all of my strength to try and break free of Coruscant's grip. Run to her aid.
When are they going to get to the fireworks factory?
Stanford and Celine are method.
Have you
Everyone is
stopped casting
method.
Thunderwave, then?
No.
Egbert, what was your roll?
Can do. No.
Egbert.
It was very nearly an 18, but it dropped onto a 5 plus 4, so that's 9.
Okay, Merylwen, I'm assuming that your armor class is higher than 9.
Mine is a 15, yeah.
Okay, yeah, great. You miraculously don't get hurt. You sell the shot though. You sell it big.
Celine, no! Oh, I can't believe it. We're going back to the old slammer. where's
A
the
bilious
justice?
guard kind of runs up with a chicken drumstick in one hand and a truncheon in the other. It's clearly just come off his lunch break.
I tried to trip him, legs out from under him.
All right, dexterity, acrobatics.
25.
He face plants, and he sort of stands himself up again, and he goes, "Right, you're all going to Alcatraz because you've been hired. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
I'm something of a veteran. I'll show you around. Don't worry about it. And you two, you're going in as prisoners."
Celine, we would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for the excellent work of these incredibly competent guards. Where did they find these folks?
Dang.
His blood is up, and the guard spends 25 minutes just repeatedly biffing Dob around the face with a chicken drumstick. It's like
I'm vegetarian.
it is absolutely harrowing, and you are covered in grease, and it's going to take a while for that smell to get out.
That's
but
fine.
the good news is you're all off to prison.
Hooray!